Okay, you guys, I've been tinkering with the audio again. I've been told more than once that my voice is too loud, the video that I'm playing is too low, and whenever I'm working on it and I edit it, it sounds fine to me when I'm listening to it through my earbuds and stuff like that. But for whatever reason, I don't know, like if I make the video too loud, sometimes it overpowers and filters through the earbuds and the microphone picks it up. So it's just a continual struggle. I don't know what I'm missing, but anyway, maybe the settings are okay. I don't know. Let me know. I'm going to check out a video of someone I've not seen before. I don't think I've seen this guy before. His name is Steve Hughes, and the routine is called Offended. It's a little bit less than 8 minutes long, and it's super late, so as always. But I wanted to check out, there's so much I want to watch, you guys, and I wish I had more time to sit down and just watch a whole bunch of stuff. But I kind of feel like if I sat down and I watched stuff back to back to back to back, after a while, I would be laughing so hard my face would hurt and I would feel my head would hurt from laughing. So maybe it's good that I have to spread it out. I just wish I had time to do more than like maybe one per night or whatever. I would like to do more, but sometimes my schedule just does not allow for that. And so anyway, I'm going to jump right into this now.
Please give all your love for the wonderful talents of Mr. Steve Hughes.
I hope that's not too loud, you guys. It sounds really loud in my earbuds.
The rest of you relax. I'm thinking the same thing looking at you people. So.
Because of the way his hair is, like maybe they're...
You freaks. No worry, there's no need to buy a big issue off me. So. Which, by the way, I hope you're decent enough people to do buy the big issue, at least give some money to homeless people. I hope you're not those people that go, no, I only give my money to registered charities. That way, I know where my money's going. No, you don't. You're not morally superior. You're just gullible and conformist. I know exactly where my money's going, to this bloke with 3 socks and no shoes. And now it's going to the off-license. Well, it's perfectly acceptable as far as I'm concerned. Well, that's their big moral high ground a lot of the time, you know. You don't give these people money. No. They'll just spend it on drink and drugs. Well, what do you think I was going to spend it on? Hypocrites. What kind of weird world do we live in where they go, don't associate with people less fortunate than yourself who have to live in the street or have no money? Don't help them out by having a conversation or giving them a few coins. Don't do that. Why don't you just send the money to us and we'll make sure they get it.
Oh, I thought it had frozen because the way he was talking, it's almost like a ventriloquist. His lips weren't moving hardly.
Anyway, it's wonderful to be. I'm from Australia, actually, although I have an English father, Australian mother. Some Scottish bloke said that makes me Welsh. So
I did not know I thought he was
being in
British.
England for many years now, I understand, all of you, and myself included, we all have to live under the weird and oppressive regime of health and safety regulations. Which is very strange, isn't it? Just, you know. Remember in the old days before health and safety? Remember when it was called common sense? Remember those days? Remember many years ago when you used to go, look, there's a great big deep hole. Will I step in it? No, I'll just walk around it.
Right. Oh my God.
I managed to learn to do that. Well, my parents taught me not to be a moron. I just kind of carried it on from there. See, the Dutch, they'll treat you like an adult. You're in Amsterdam. You're in a city. They sell pot. They sell mushrooms. There's trams. There's buses. There's cabs. There's push bikes with women, with kids strapped to the front of them. There's a road next to a canal. Is there a fence? No. No fence. England, there'd be a big sign, big fence. Don't go in the water. Don't fall in the water and drown. Don't go in. Amsterdam, is your bike wet? Yeah. Well, you're on the wrong bit, mate. So,
Oh, I swear.
And then we have political correctness, which is the joy that is the other side of health and safety, which is health and safety, which is a small oppression of our physical movement, so we can't do anything without permission from the state. And political correctness, the oppression of our intellectual movement, so no one says anything anymore in case somebody else gets offended.
All right.
What happens if you say that and someone gets offended?
Oh.
Well, they can be offended. What's wrong with being offended? When did sticks and stones may break my bones stop being relevant? Isn't that what you teach children, for God's sake? That's what you teach toddlers. He called me an idiot. Don't worry about him. He's a dick. Now you have adults going, I was offended, and I have rights.
Oh, gosh.
Well, so what? Be offended. Nothing happens.
Right. You don't have a human right not to be offended,
You're
you
an
guys.
adult. Grow up. Deal with it.
Right.
I was offended. I don't care. Nothing happens when you're offended. There's nothing. I went to the comedy show, and the comedian said something about the Lord, and I was offended. And when I woke up in the morning, I had leprosy. Nothing happens. I want to live in democracy, but I never want to be offended again.
Oh, gosh.
Well, you're an idiot.
Oh, I like this guy.
How do you make a law about offending people? How do you make it an offense to offend people? Being offended is subjective. That has everything to do with you as an individual or a collective or a group or a society or a community, your moral conditioning, your religious beliefs. What offends me may not offend you. And you want to make laws about this? I'm offended when I see boy bands, for God's sake. It's a valid offense. I'm offended. They're corporate shills posing as musicians to further a modeling career, and frankly, I'm disgusted. Right? But what am I going to do? Call the cops? Hello, it's me again.
I'm offended.
They're on the telly this time. 5 of them, that's it. Yeah, white suits dancing like girls, that's them.
Oh, God.
5 minutes, I'll be out the front traumatized. Bye.
Excuse me for all the
No,
sniffing.
we can't smoke anywhere either. No smoking. No. For our health. No, it's not. It's for control. No smoking. Can we still buy cigarettes? Of course. Where can we smoke them? Nowhere. You can smoke them in the woods under a blanket with a torch. Unless it's raining, then health and safety regulations do stipulate that. You think it's about health. It's not. It's about control. There's an easy way to understand this because the Irish were the first to stop smoking in pubs. Now, who saw that coming? Not the Irish. I'd love to have been there the day they told them. What? It's us. We're first. Come on. No. In pubs. But we live in pubs. I tried to give them up. I tried to give up cigarettes. I bought a book on addiction. It said apparently in this book, if you're addicted to something, when you give it up, you replace it with something else.
Oh,
Like
dear.
a hobby.
Oh, no.
So I did a pottery course. Yeah. First day, everyone made ashtrays. It's a crap plan, you know, and very embarrassing after sex as well.
Oh, dear.
You were great, baby. Yeah, I've made you a pot.
He wants that cigarette so bad.
Thank you very much. Have a brilliant night. I've enjoyed it.
Oh, goodness. That's it? Oh, he was fun. I like him. I think I saved some other routine of his. It's in my my to watch list. But I agree with everything he said, you guys. That's exactly my mindset as well. I am so turned off by what society has evolved. And I say evolved because, you know, evolving is supposed to represent an improvement, right? Something better. But society has evolved into largely a crybaby mentality. Obviously not everybody, but you guys know what I mean. And I mean, he does too, because that's exactly what he's talking about. We, as in collectively, our society, has turned into the biggest baby, I swear. And I'm not a fan. And it's like I mentioned while this was playing, that you don't have a human right not to be offended, because it's subjective. And I personally don't get offended by things that offend other people. And things that upset me or offend me might not bother other people. But when I feel like I'm offended by something, as far as when it comes to things being said, I mean, that's on me, honestly. And it's certainly not something that I or anyone else should feel like some sort of law or decree needs to be put in place in order to prevent my feelings from being hurt. Our feels are just our feels, you guys. It's not, we can get over things like that. If somebody says something that bothers us, I feel like I'm going kind of on a tangent, but to me, I kind of distinguish. So, you have like a human rights, which to me pertains to your actual physical self. You have the human right not to be murdered by somebody. But you don't necessarily have the human right not to hear something that's going to bother you or upset you. To me, that's kind of a pretty big distinction, So when people talk about, I put up that picture, the meme of Stephen Fry and the comment he made about being offended. And it feels so relevant. I don't know when this routine, when it was done. I don't even know how old this particular video is. The quality of it makes me think it's from several years back. But so obviously, even then, if that's true that this was a while back, even then, things were, when did this start, you guys? When did this start that we became such a nation? Well, obviously it was happening in the UK, but I mean, here in the US, it's happening too. Oh my gosh. Everybody's offended by something. And if somebody says something that a person deems out of line, well, they must be dealt with by the mob, usually on Twitter or other social media. And they must be canceled in a lot of ways. In a lot of situations, it ends up where they are trying to cancel somebody because of something they have said, or because maybe an association they have with somebody that is deemed undesirable. It's not good what's going on, you guys. It's not healthy for people. It just isn't. I don't exactly know what the solution is. I really don't know, except to just continue to be ourselves. And if people get offended by something that you say or something that you think, if you're not hurting anyone, physically hurting somebody, so what? That's kind of my mindset. So that's why I really liked what he said. And I've gone and rambled again, like I do. I always feel like, okay, I'm going to have nice, coherent thoughts at the end of this. And then I just start to kind of rant. And I don't feel like I'm connecting my thoughts very well. This is the downside of not having the time to come up with nice, prepared material. But anyway, as I've said before, when I'm making these videos, I always kind of wanted it in the back of my mind that, okay, I could potentially do all these nice, well written out remarks, read off a teleprompter sort of thing. I don't have the time. But also, when I started this channel, it was with the idea that I just wanted to talk about the stuff I'm interested in, movies, stories, trailers, TV shows. I just want to talk, that's it. And so it's kind of come to this point, where I'm reacting to stand-up routines, and so we're just talking afterwards. This is just me talking to you guys, even though you're not here face to face and we're talking. This is just me having a conversation. So you can't really have a good conversation, I guess, or a real conversation if you're writing down what you want to say and then reading it to the other person. It doesn't work that way. So that's why my channel is messy in that regard. And for people that don't like that, if you're offended by that, well, I guess don't watch any more of my videos, because I don't think I'm going to be able to have the time, honestly, to change the way I do this, or the inclination, because at this point it wouldn't feel natural to try to go to a scripted format. Unless I start some other channel and do something else, which I don't have time for. So, okay, that's it. I did go on longer than I meant to, especially considering how late it is once again. And so I'm going to pull the plug on this. And hopefully tomorrow I can check out a few more than just one. My brother was in town this past weekend, and so I was kind of, occupied hanging out with him. And so that's why I didn't get much recording done this weekend. But it's a new week coming up, and hopefully I can get more under my belt. All right, you guys. Later.